Hey guys, MC Mura here, and yes, you are seeing this right, we got Tekken 8 on the screen. I know most of you guys are Street Fighter players. We are at the tail end of the first season for Street Fighter 6, and I know a lot of you guys are waiting for the balance patch, waiting for new updates, new character, etc. This game just came out, it's pretty amazing. It got a panda on the background, there is a playable panda, so I'm sure a lot of you are checking Tekken out right now. And I figured, why wouldn't I explain the game to you guys? I'm gonna keep this very simple. I just wanna explain some of the concepts because understanding how Tekken works is the biggest thing, it's the biggest hurdle you will have to overcome. Yes, there's some execution, learning all of the characters and all of that, but you need to understand like what is actually going on, and if you do, you will find the rest a lot easier, right? So the first thing that Street Fighter players or 2D players in general find kind of weird about Tekken is blocking, right? Because typically in 2D fighters, you will down back, your crouch blocking, and this is like your default blocking technique. You block low, and if your opponent does an overhead, typically these are a little bit slower, so you react with stand blocking, or like if they jump, right? In Tekken, it's quite the opposite, right? Here we got high attacks, we got mids, and we got lows, right? If here I said the dummy, if I said Jin to crouch block, right? So he's gonna duck, highs will go over his head, he's gonna block lows, but mates will hit him. Now, the thing about mates and lows in this game is that typically mates are the safer attacks and also the more rewarding attacks. For example, this is Zafina's down forward 2, right? This, as you can see, this is 16 frame startup, but this is a launching move, right? I do this with Zafina, and now I'm getting like a full launch into a wall combo, into a lot of damage, right? Obviously this is not optimal, but you get the idea. Now if I go for a low attack, this is her down back 3, this is just a poke, right? Now let's set him to not do anything, right? As you see, this is doing 13 damage, where the full combo could do 60 or 70 damage, right? This is just doing 13, a slower low like this one. I'm sorry, this did 14 damage. Now, there are low launchers in this game. Like for example, Zafina's down back 1+2, right? This is a low launcher. I can use this one, and now I'm getting like full launcher damage, which is not bad, but notice this, right? 28 frame startup. The animation is really long. Most of the snake edge moves, the low launchers, they are really slow, right? We're talking 20 plus frame startup, so they are reactable. So risk reward suggests that you want to block standing and only crouch block, like every now and then, if you're expecting the opponent to do like an annoyance slow like this one, or if they're doing like a really reactable slow low like Zafina's snake edge or like launcher here, right? So make sure you're stand blocking most of the time. Now the other thing in this game that will be very difficult for a lot of people who is just starting is movement, right? Because typically in 2D fighting games, or let's keep it to Street Fighter, you just want to walk. Walking is the best thing to do in Street Fighter because it is the least committal movement option. If you dash, you can get jabbed. If you drive rush, you can get hit. But if you're just walking, you can simply walk and block at any time. Now, if you're noticing Zafina here, walking is very, very slow in this game. This is how much it's taking me to like reach Jin if I'm walking, but if I'm dashing, I can get in his face in an instant, and obviously there is like running, and I can approach him with run. So typically people, when they're moving in Tekken, they're like dashing, and the thing about movement in Tekken is that you can always cancel it, right? So here, for example, during a backdash, I can simply crouch at any point. This is the idea behind the Korean backdash, or like you can sidestep or just block, right? Even when you're dashing, you can block. So a lot of the execution in Tekken comes in the form of learning how to move. And the thing about this game is everything you do is a risk, right? Here's the thing about Tekken. Here is the real truth about this game, right? When you're approaching the opponent, like let's see if here I'm Zafina and I'm approaching the Jin, I can go for this string, down forward 1-2, right? mid, and or just this down forward one, right? This is a mid attack, but this is typically, if the opponent here is blocking, this is typically negative. I'm -5, right? So the mix-up usually is, do I down forward one, do I go for a mid, or do I go for a low? The thing is, both of these, if they got block, like if the opponent here is blocking, -5, -8, whatever, I am losing my turn, and now I will be subjected to the mix, right? Or if you're just constantly trying to whiff out attacks, or like, yeah, go for attacks, as opponent can counter hit you. So every time you are throwing out an attack, even on offense, if the opponent happen to block it, chances are you're gonna be negative, and now you have to deal with their mix-ups. That's why you'll see a lot of the pro Tekken players, like they are wave dashing at each other, or like playing from a close distance but not really attacking, because even when you attack you get blocked, the opponent now you have to eat their mix. But Mura, can I not disrespect frame data? In Street Fighter I got my EX reversals, I got my EX DP. This is my main way that I get to disrespect frames, right? Which is for sure, because this mix-up is honestly kind of annoying, like 16 frame startup, mid, launcher, or going for a low. Both of them honestly are kind of unreactable. So how can you disrespect frame data in Tekken? Well, that is where the movement and 3D dimension, right? This is where it comes into the play, right? Let's say for example here, and one thing I just wanna stress about this game that is actually really important is in the practice option, check this out, action after hit or block, because for example this is this string from Zafina, down forward 1-1. This is like a 3-hit, and you're like, yes, I got a 3-hit combo, check out how much damage it's doing. Make sure that you set this one to block, because this way you will know what's the natural combo and what isn't, because as you can see, Jin was able to block the 3rd hit. Important training mode option to realize and know how to utilize. But anyways, let's say that Jin is gonna block my first attack, right? Because there are a lot of blossom block moves in this game, like Zafina got her forward force 3, right? This is an amazing move. This leaves me at a +4 advantage. So yes, I am +4, so I can jab him, I can go for like my down forward 1, I can go for a low. This is amazing, and it's a mid. And the good thing about this move, one thing that actually kind of makes it really good, is that this is like a counter hit launcher, right? You can actually, I don't want to say counter hit launcher, because like you get a stance hit here, like this is guaranteed. So this move seems utterly ridiculous, right? But the thing is, like I said, movement is how you can challenge frame data on block. Another move, like Dafina's forward 1. Let's make sure that Jin here is blocking the forward 1, right? Forward 1, +1. So you would expect that this is like an infinite, right? I'm +1 here, so I forward 1, +1, so I forward 1, and like Jin is trapped in an infinite. But this is not really the case, because if I'm making sure here that Jin is sidestepping, see, my jab is whiffing, right? So although I am technically blossom block and +1, I am not really able to take my turn without risk, because Jin can sidestep, right? And here's where Tekken gets complicated, because check this out, right? Like he's sidestepping right, and now my down forward 1, it's not tracking super well. Here I'm delaying it a little bit, and that's why he is getting hit. But if he is sidestepping to the right, my down forward 1 will actually hit him every time. So this aspect is where Tekken can be a little bit hard for people, because against some characters you want to sidestep left, against some characters you want to sidestep right. But what's important for me is for you to understand the concept, right? Sidestepping is one of the main ways you get to challenge frames. Now notice this, when I'm doing like the Y1-2 string, the second hit, typically by the second hit, Zafina is adjusting and is able to hit Jin, and that is where you want to start side walking, right? So there is obviously like sidestep where you just kind of like dash upwards or downwards, but obviously there is side walk where you keep pressing, you keep holding the direction, right? And side walking is how you sidestep strings, right? See this, right? Here Jin is like side walking. He will for the most part be able to avoid my string. Let's actually make him sidestep to the other direction. Again, a lot of this really relies on like, see, yeah. So a lot of this really relies on the moves, the tracking on the moves. There is a ton of depth here, but you get the idea. Against specific moves, especially moves that are linear, and this is more so in the neutral, moves that are linear like Zafina's like forward force 3, sidestepping them can be really good, right? But against strings, typically you wanna try to go for something like a sidewalk. Alright, so let's say that the opponent is constantly trying to sidestep you during your pressure. Well, this is where you have to start using your homing moves. In this game, there are moves called homing moves. This is like Zafina's forward 4. This is her homing technique, and this will hit an opponent who's trying to sidestep. And this kinda brings everything full circle. Right now, we know that this game is a game about movement, and you also have a lot of people who's like will constantly try to annoy you and go backward as much as possible. They are trying to get you to overextend and then with punish you. But in this game, being close to the wall is very deadly, right? In Tekken especially, being close to the wall is very bad because you can get punished heavily. Let's start with a string like Zafina's down forward 1-4, right? This is a hit. It just puts him in a spin state and that's it, right? But if I am near the wall, this is actually now incredibly risky, right? Because now near the wall, for example, it will wall splat, and now Jin will he have to eat a full combo, right? Take a look at how much damage he lost because of this. So although movement and you want to create some space between you and your opponent, if you overextend, you're putting yourself closer to the wall and putting yourself in a bad situation. Like I said, everything in this game is a risk. A lot of it is about mitigating risk and knowing the best time to approach, right? Alright, so kind of circling back to what I was talking about, the importance of understanding risk reward and when to press. I know that this game, everyone's love to press. Everyone is like button mash happy, but understanding when you can get to do so, when you can frame trap your opponent, this is actually really vital. For example, this is Zafina's down 1+2. This is Zafina's down. This is Zafina 1+2. I don't know why I keep saying down. This move is really good because this is a counter hit launcher, and it's kind of fast too. Like at 16 frames, really fast, really good. Again, counter hit launcher, so you're getting like a lot of damage out of this one. Great. But here's the thing, right? Because this move is really good as a counter hit launcher, this move is -12. Right? So what does -12 means? It means that with a character like Zafina, at least, you can want to punish it, right? This did 14 damage, but take a look at this. Zafina is +8, right? And at this sort of advantage, the opponent have to deal with my mix. Right? So yes, I didn't get a ton of damage with the 1-2 punish, but now I have enough frame advantage that the opponent have to deal with a mix, and they cannot disrespect my frames. Like let's say for example here that Jin is gonna try to sidewalk after blocking, right? After the +8, he can't sidewalk my follow-up string. He can't. If I'm doing something like this one, for example, that is 0 or like just not really the plus, he completely can't. But that 1-2, yeah, he have to hold it, right? And this means that now I can go for like a launcher, I can go for a low that's really annoying and keep my pressure going, etc. I know that everyone's love to mash, right? But when you get to block in this game, understand when you can try to sidewalk or move to disrespect the frame data. There is like also like power crushes. This, for example, the hit engagers. These are universal power crushes. They are really good if you just want to get the opponent off of you. Characters got specific tools, like this is Zafina's back 3. It's kind of unsafe, but you can use it if you want. There's also the option of like the dig jab, and they are like really fast moves, special mates that can be really annoying for the opponent to deal with. But in general, having frame advantage in this game is vital. Like this string, for example, +2, he gets to move, right? But if I'm +8, he have to hold it, right? Understanding these simple concepts will go a very long way in making you a better Tekken player, right? I know that there's a lot to learn in this game, there's way more, but these are some of the concepts that I feel like if you understand, you will be able to do so much, absorb the game, and these are, I feel like, are the fundamentals that you need to start going from there. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment. It helps the channel so much. I will be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages. There is way more to Tekken fundamentals. One thing, I feel like I gotta talk about this actually, which is like very important. I feel like I need to mention it. It's important, right? How to get off the floor. Use this, like the second you're knocked down, press jab or like one or two, right? These are really good because this is the safest ways that you can get off the ground. Like here, for example, I will get Jane to standing block, right? You can block safely, but obviously if you just like if you go for the wake up mid kick, like here for example, if he's going for the wake up mid kick, right? All of people love waking up buttons. Like yeah, you can get like relaunched, etc. Think of it as like you're trying to wake up with a jab in Street Fighter. Wake up with like kicks like that can get you punished. So these also carry some risks, so you want to be careful, right? And that's about it for this video. Let me know if you want to see more on like Tekken fundamentals, or if you want me to focus on characters, matchup, etc. I would love to hear your thoughts about all of this in the comment section below. We'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter, and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and stay safe.